small businesses that just don't exist anymore. So I've been lucky enough to stay in one trade for 40 years, worked at a very high level for 40 years, have a very high level of mastery, understanding, um, just a enviable skill set for most people that watch me work. And some people just stop and watch me work. I'll catch them out of the corner of my eye. I have a certain balance and a certain way that I move after doing well, only one job for my whole career. I still make mistakes. All right. So the biggest thing that you have to get past is that even when you've mastered a trade, you still make mistakes. The difference now is I don't worry about it. I leave myself enough options to get out of any mistake that I can get myself into. That's important. Uh, buddy of mine, we all have our nightmare jobs that we wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, thinking that we're still back in the middle of them. But one of my friends had a job where they had a concrete truck get stuck in the mud halfway through pouring a foundation. And they couldn't get any more trucks in, the concrete set up, and it was only half poured. Now, he was a very green contractor at the time, and he didn't really know what he was going to do. He didn't know how to do it, but he called in a bunch of people. There's a solution for everything, for every problem that you run into. It might cost you some money, it might be expensive, but there's still a way to work yourself out of the problem. And they put some acid on the concrete, finished the pour. It wasn't the best foundation in the world, but it was adequate. It was certainly met code. I wouldn't want to put a brick house on it, a 10,000 square foot brick house on a foundation with a bad pour, but he didn't have to, you know, jackhammer the whole foundation walls system out and then re-pour it. I can patch walls. If we forgot an outlet or forget to run a wire, I know that I can patch my walls really quickly. Um, plumbing leaks, we try and stay in front of that, but they can get in there. Electric, plumbing, drywall, masonry. No matter what, you're risking catastrophic failure. I had tagged up a pipe once with a nail, putting on some baseboard. I didn't know there were pipes in the walls. The nail was just a little bit too long. Leaked. Took a year for the leak to show itself, but we went back in, opened the wall up, fixed it, closed the wall, and we were done. So you're never not going to make mistakes. Mastery does not mean not making mistakes. You make fewer mistakes. It just means that you know how to fix the mistakes and you know how to get past them and get beyond them. And that takes years. The first 4 years are learning the basic skill set. You just watch and listen for the first 4 years. If you're a plumber, how to sweat pipes, how to set a boiler, how to set a toilet. There's a certain skill set that you need to master. Once you understand the basic skills, then you have a license to learn. All right, now you're going to learn how to put those skills together, how not to track dirt over someone's white carpet. Installing the toilet is one thing, but if you track your muddy boots over their white carpet in the bedroom, they're not going to be happy with you. It's a problem that you've got to back yourself out of. Change the door once, scratch the floor. We had to screen it, polish it, put it back together. There's a lot of little things that can go wrong, and you just need to know who to call and how to get out of the problem, how to work your way out of the problem. That's why as you're coming up in the trades, you want to minimize the number of problems that you're creating. You want to really focus on not screwing things up. That's probably the biggest thing for young tradesmen and mastery of the trades. How do you know when you mastered a trade? We don't worry about it anymore. I just get up and go to work. I don't really, think about how I'm going to. Right now, we got a bathroom torn apart. I don't think about how we're going to put the tile in, which mastic we're going to use. We use a laser. We cut the tiles. We set it. We know how to keep everything waterproof. Yeah, you just become comfortable when you're not worried about it anymore, when you're not stressed about it anymore. And it's a lot of it is the repetition and the practice. It's like karate. You got to practice it for 10 years, 10,000 hours, whatever your mark is, before you really feel comfortable with the skill. You can watch it on YouTube. I watched them rebuild Mopar cars from the 70s, but I can't paint the car. I wouldn't even begin to think that I could paint a car. It's just too complicated. The skill set's too involved. There's too many tricks. That's what you learn working for master craftsmen, master tradesmen, is the tricks. How to make it go a little faster, a finger movement here, the right trowel here, the right nail gun over there. Takes years. Takes 10,000 hours to master a trade. 2,000 hours a year, it's roughly 5 years. A little bit of overtime, working on your own house on the weekend. You can do it in 4. You can get the basic skill set together. But don't think you're going to watch a YouTube video and you're going to tape drywall and make it look perfect. There's too many tricks. You need to how to run the seams, where to break your seams. There's a lot to it. It's not for the faint of heart. Okay? You've mastered a trade when you don't worry about it anymore. You don't worry about what could go wrong. You know that you can work yourself out of any problem you can get yourself into. That's my definition of a master craftsman. All right, we're burning daylight. Let's get at it. Scott Wilson with Dumbass Contractors, urging you to stay loose, stay relaxed. Most importantly, stay in front of it. Wilson out.